Hello students. In our previous class, we have seen the basic functions of count, count if, count a, and some basic date functions. Today, we will learn some basic vertical lookup, horizontal lookup, and a bit lookup vector. So let's start with the vertical lookup. Now, what is a vertical lookup? Now, from the screen, we can see that there is a data. So data regarding the 3 months, and they have some different, then some 6 columns. Imagine like it's a rainfall, maybe some temperature, and from this data we can take the output depending on some conditions, some parameters. Suppose I want to see the third column of Jan. So including Jan, the third column will throw us the output of 20, because Jan is here number 1, column 1, then 10 belongs to 2, 20 belongs to 3. So if I type a month of Jan, then if I give number 3, then he is throwing us the output of 20. So actually from these data, this kind of data, we are taking it as means row wise, means that is vertically. So the data is like this, the column wise, and we are seeing it like this. So that is a vertical lookup. So we are seeing the vertical thing in a row way. So that is called a vertical lookup. So if the data is huge, like suppose there is a telephone directory search, or there is a data search regarding the different stocks, different assets, maybe different customers, some vendors, then we can take the advantage of VLOOKUP. If it is a big amount of data with different rows and columns, then we can give according to our condition, we can apply the VLOOKUP function there. So let's start with the formula. So this is the output cell. Here it belongs. Here we will give the main formula. So if I put my cursor there, now look at screen at the formula bar, we will see equal to VLOOKUP, then bracket, then G11 means that is the G11 means the January, this area means the first criteria, comma, then B5 to G7 means the entire table, means the entire data area, then comma, then G12 means my second criteria area or the second condition area, then the false depending on the data type. So if we give that formula, it will giving us 20. Now let's make it as faved and give it 5, then the data will be 110. So including fav 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she's showing us the data of 110. Okay, so if I make this as 8, what will happen? That is REF means reference. You cannot find any reference because in February there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is nothing here. Nothing belongs here. So he cannot find anything. Now if I put 250 here, and if I put 120 here, and if I put 20 here, then still he find nothing. Why? Because in the formula I have not included the entire areas. So I have only selected these areas. That it does not mean if we will put value there and they will throw us the value. So you have to put these cells into the formula, into this range, then he will give us the value. So if I make this as March, MAR, then once again make it 2, it will throw us the data 97. So once again, I'm talking about the formula equal to VLOOKUP. G11 means the first criteria, then comma, then the data range, the B5 to G7, comma, then the second criteria, the G12, and then the false. Then they will throw us the data according to vertically lookup. So that is all about the VLOOKUP. So now with the same kind of data, if we do the horizontal look, then what will happen? So vertical lookup, I told you, suppose we have a data with different rows and columns, with huge quantity, then you can apply the vertical lookup. The same thing happens for the edge lookup. But depending on the data, what kind of lookup you will use, it depends on you. I'm going to the next sheet. Now look at the table. The same table is arriving here. Just I have put it on this way. So previously it was like the row wise, now it was like column wise. So when their data is column wise, and once again you are seeing is like this, so that is called the horizontal lookup. Means you are seeing the data horizontally. The previous one it was actually the vertical. So once again, seeing the two criteria here, the March and the 2 months, and here it is giving showing us the output. Now for the March 2 means including March 1, 2, the value of the second row is 97. So actually this lookup is actually the show means giving us the output the row wise. So like this, in this way. So that is why it was a VLOOKUP. I'm sorry, the horizontal lookup. But previously the data was showing me like this in the columnar way. So that was it was the vertical lookup or VLOOKUP. So now if I put the cursor here, it will show us the formula. The logic is same. Previously it was the VLOOKUP. Now it will start with the H lookup, bracket close. Then the G11 means this one, the first criteria. Then E4 to G9 means the same data range, the whole table, comma, then G12 means the second criteria, and it will end with the false. So it is throwing us the output 97. Now, if I give Jan here, giving us 10. If I put Jan 2, it is giving us the data 30. The same I am doing here. So these are the 5 persons, their marks and their place. So first, these are my two criterias, and here it is showing us the output. So first I'm giving suppose marks, what is written here, I have to write here marks, and then I'm writing the row output means 5, means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, means in marks column, the fifth row consists 55. So it is showing us the output 55. If I make this marks as place, P-L-A-C-E, place, so they're giving us the alphabetical data, the Dhanbad. So if I make it as name, so it will give us the Dhoni. If I make it as 3, it will give us the Saurav. If I make it as 1, what will happen? It will give us the name, the same name, because the name number 1 consists the name. So that is why it's showing us the same thing. So if I make it 4, it will give us the Dravid. So that is all about the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. I gave it the example with the same kind of data, the Jan and the Fabes and the March and the columns. So hope you have understood the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. Now I'm going to the lookup vector. Now, if you understood the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, it is very easier for you to understand the lookup vector. Now, what is a lookup vector? The lookup vector is very one-dimensional way. So if you give, suppose a row name or a column name, it will give a single output or depending on a same row, on a single row or on a single column. But if I look into the VLOOKUP, so we can see we can give the two conditions here. On a big table, if I give two conditions, then depending on that, they will give us the output. The same was happened in the HLOOKUP. In a big table, if we have multiple rows and columns, we are giving two conditions or two parameters, depending on that, they are showing us the output. But in this table, if I see, I'm putting, suppose RAM here, the data is 3. Now, if you see that the formula is just the lookup. Previously, it was either HLOOKUP or VLOOKUP. Now, it's just the lookup. Then the G14 means obviously the first condition or the first criteria, then comma, then E6 to H12. Now look at this, this is E6 to H12 means the whole table. So if I select RAM or if I put RAM, it is giving us 3. Now if I put it like this, make it Sita, then it's giving us the 51. Now actually, according to the this column, he is throwing us the data from the third column, or I mean the fourth column consisting of the March, maybe the temperature of the rainfall. So my question is, why from this table it is throwing us the data from the first column, to the only the fourth one? Why when I'm writing Sita, why it's not giving us the data of 40 or 110? Why it is giving us 51? Why I'm writing when as Ram, why it is showing us the data of 3? Why not 10 and 80? So that's an interesting thing. That's one of the most interesting thing in lookup vector, that it's a one-dimensional criteria, it's one-dimensional formula where he will show you the data depending on a single column intersection point. Now, if you understood the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, then obviously you will understand the lookup vector also. So hope you have understood the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. Now your assignment will be, yeah, that's an assignment. Why here, after putting the formula here, the lookup, then the RAM, then the 3, why it is showing us the data as 3? Why not 10? Why not 80? Why it is showing us the data on 3? So that will be one of your assignment. Hope you have understood the lookup logic. So then, bye-bye.